Good morning to both of you. This is a tragic, devastating scene. As kids were going to school this morning, this high-impact collision occurred. I want to show you first what's happening before we bring in Captain Eric Scott from the Los Angeles Fire Department. This is 111th and Main. So on the left, there's kind of like a silver sedan you'll see beyond the police car. And then to the right, there is a silver SUV. Those are the two cars involved in the collision. It was chaotic. That sedan erupted in flames, and that is said to be where someone got out of a vehicle and ran away from the scene. Well, more information on that person. If we go all the way to the right near the laundromat, you see that white SUV, which was hit, an innocent bystander in all this. And we spoke to the witness whose son was inside of that car at the time of the crash, and listen to what she told us.
I was inside the wash house when it happened. My son was sitting on the passenger side of my truck, and I heard the collision, and I shot outside. Thank God my son was okay. He jumped out through the driver's side. But when I got out here, it was chaos. It was a car on fire. It was this truck that had ran into my truck, and it had a kid in there and a lady in there. And I jumped on the phone and I just called 911. Hurried up and called 911.
So in the last hour, we were covering the overturned tank. We were just about 10 minutes from here. We were with Captain Eric Scott for that, too, when this breaking news came in of what transpired here. Such a tragic scene. What can you tell us about what transpired?
It is a tragic scene because we have 4 patients, but as you mentioned, a very high-speed traffic collision here on Main Street in 111th Place. When we arrived on scene, that sedan was well involved in flames. The driver was missing. That SUV had 4 people inside it. In the back seat was an 18-month-old and a 13-year-old. Both we transported in critical, actually I'm going to make that grave condition because we actually had to perform CPR. So this has the chance of being a double fatality, which is very tragic. We certainly want people to slow down during these rainy times.
I know that LAPD is out here and investigators are on scene figuring out exactly what happened. What can you tell us in terms of how this went down?
Well, LAPD is here in force, and they are combing through the whole area, the debris, to determine exactly what transpired, as well as where the driver is of that sedan. For us, again, we wanted to make sure we arrived very quickly. We put out the fire, and we started triaging patients. Again, there was a total of 4 patients, a 35-year-old driver and a 16-year-old in the front seat of that SUV. But in the rear seat is where most of the critical injuries took place. And so we had firefighter paramedics. That's the highest level of medical authority outside a hospital setting. They jumped in, started CPR, and provided life-saving measures as they transported quickly to a nearby hospital. But the outcome of those 2 patients, the 18-month-old and the 13-year-old, is not looking very good at this point.
Thank you for the latest on this. We appreciate the update. We're going to stay on top of this, of course, and very sad to hear of the 2 young kids who are in the back seat of that car. We'll keep you posted on their condition. As for a suspect, we don't have much information. He was wearing jeans, according to investigators. He's described as a black man who was in jeans and had tattoos on his face. If you know anything at all, you are asked to give LAPD a call. I'm Christina Pascucci reporting live here from the scene. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Just such a devastating story, and obviously we are thinking about that family, especially those young children, the 13-year-old and the 18-month-old. Christina, thank you so much for that update.